Hello everybody, GL1 here, and welcome to my online toy museum. And I know this might look a little bit jumbled here, there's a lot going on, but I want to talk to you again, but more in depth about this toy system, Snap Ships Build to Battle. And there actually is a game system or some kind of gaming thing you can buy and do gaming with this, but I'm not interested in that. I love these toys. There was a toy called Tinker Toy, and one of their taglines was "Build Big Fast," and it was wooden sticks and little discs and these dowels, and you could fit them all into these combinations and build like just big structures. But they just really weren't that fun, I think. As toys got more and more sophisticated. But this is similar in that you can build cool ships fast, and they're very complicated looking, but they're really not complex to build, and they're just so much fun. I can build like a big one like this one in about 30 minutes. This other one, the Claymore back here, which I actually modified since the last time I featured it, that one probably took me about 45 minutes. But a lot of things come with these ships. So you get one thing, you get some paperwork here, and it can show you just the different ships that you can order. Well, from Amazon in this case, they were at Target at one point. But I got Gladius, I got the Trident. I'm not into the Saber. I might get the Sith at some point, and the Lance. These are very basic looking, like sort of Buzz Lightyear looking ships. So I don't know, maybe. But the other ones that are cool that I got is I got the Scorpion, I got the Scarab, and I got the Spitter, which I think is not on this. So on the other side, it features your this ship actually, the Gladius, that this came with that. And these are your instructions, and I have a whole pile of instructions over here. So, they come with, this is the hammer jaw, and I'll show you that one. This one's cool because it has these drones that pop off on the side, and it gives you, 3 different models that you can build. But, of course, you can modify these however you'd like. And instructions are very easy to follow and redundant in a way, so it's really hard to mess up, and you can always, they're easy to go back and fix things. And even if you do something different, you might like what you came up with anyway. It doesn't really matter that much. But, you can go through this and see they come with these little rubber pieces, and then they're like energizing. They fit on certain places on some pieces and energize it. And they all come with like little missile launchers, and you can either add the missile launchers in place of something else or not, or leave them off, or put them all on a different ship. But you can see how the drone flies off here, and I'll show you that. So that is the hammer jaw, and then here's the instructions. This is the first one I got, the Spitter, and I made that look a lot different than what it looks like now. I changed actually quite a few of them. The Scorpion, and this is the big instructions for the Claymore. And let's see, how's Claymore? Oh, and there even was a mech, Maul, and it shows you different ways that you can build that. I went something even simpler because I wanted to use the pieces for something else. And this was a neat one too. This is sort of like those ships in Avatar. I built this one, the Trident gunship, but the first, just the gunship. They have rescue, recovery, and assault craft, but I like the basic gunship version. And let's see, and then as you can see, it's pretty thick instructions, but again, easy to follow. And it gives you, it's thick because it shows you all 3 models that you can build. And this has a couple of drones, as you can see, that pop off too. And then here is the Gladius, which is really cool. Has some unique features too. And in fact, all of them have something unique. They really went out of their way to create very special pieces for all of these. And some of the bigger sets come with a more bigger instruction and sort of, checklist of what you can order. So they tell you about this Uju tech, how many Uju can you collect. I'm not really into putting the Uju on the ships. I think it doesn't really go that well with the ships. But, you can see Claymore, Hammerjaw, and, just this one looks pretty cool too, this biped mech. So there's all these different things and special pieces. It looks like it shoots these spheres as well, so that might be worth getting. Oh, and this looks like it shoots discs. So I guess I'm going to have to try those out and see. But yeah, there's a lot of sets to get. And then on the back, you have like a poster of a battle that you can put up. All right, well, let's see. What we're really here for is to look at the toys themselves. So here we go, the Trident gunship. And let's see, here it is. And I didn't make any modifications really to this one. I liked it just the way it was. It comes with 3 little people. And let me show you how this opens up in the front. And then you have this big guy, which you may have seen when I did the show on the Claymore a few shows ago. And then he can fit in there, or you can fit a couple of smaller people in there. And this one actually has, you can take it off the stand. They all come with stands, so the top of the box becomes a stand, and it rotates too. So this is a rotator piece, so you can just turn the ship however you'd like. I'll explain a little bit more about that. But this one has, all right, so you have a winch, so you can pick things up. And then it has boxes, so it can drop off supplies, and then you can use the winch to pick it up. So they snap and unsnap out, and then you can snap that on here onto the winch. All right, so that's one of the features this has. So then you can close this up after. And the other thing that's really neat is it has like these I guess the wind turbines, or you could maybe think that they're magnetic propulsion units using magnetic fields, and they rotate. And then in here you have also rotating guns, really like a gunship, right? Like in World War II. And then you can, comes with a couple of figures. And there she is inside there. And then there's a fella over here. And that lifts up, and then there he is. Okay. And these are little drones that come off. So you can just unsnap this off here like that. And then they have their own little wind turbine hovering units. And then you have a rotating gun there. So some pieces will rotate and some will not. And see, even in the back, to be consistent, it has, for controlling, like a drone. Some pieces have a square around the peg. So you see, if it has the peg and then it's round, then it can rotate inside this star design. So then you get full rotation. But because this has a square, when you attach it to another square, you can attach it at different angles, but it won't rotate, so it stays still. So that's some of the building technology of this toy. And actually, a long time ago, I had a friend who was taking a graduate course, and they wanted him to design a toy. And he said, hey, why don't you design a toy system for me on paper, and I'll turn it in. And this was to an elite, university. And I designed a toy very much like these, and he turned it in, and I feel like I got the A. So that was pretty cool. All right, so here's a tool that separates the pieces, because what's great about this is they really snap together well. So they're easy to put together, but they're also difficult to fall apart. So that's nice, easy to go together, and if you drop it, it's not going to just shatter all over anywhere near as much as, say, Legos. But not to put down Legos. I mean, this is totally different. But you can build a really cool ship really fast. So all right, so that is our trident, and then you can just snap it onto your stand, and then the stand rotates too. So you can just have it at different angles. All right, so then we're gonna go. Let's see who we have next. We're going to have, all right, so Maul. So this is the walker, and you could see how the way that they did the walker, it's got arms and legs in this picture here. Well, I took off the arms because I used them on a different ship. I mean, you could see I changed it quite a bit. I mean, kept the legs the same. I just put a couple of guns, instead of having, all the guns. And then it just walks and it rotates. And again, a unique piece. This is not on any of the other ships, except where I put the arms on the other ship. But it came with these rotating ball joints, and feet. You have toes that rotate and rotating ball joint in the ankle. So very highly articulated. And it comes with a fella that you put inside. You can put anybody you want that will fit in there. I think all of them will fit. Maybe not that real big guy. But all right. And then, you can see that they really put a lot of detail into it. It's like has a machine gun storage here, I guess, for these guns, which can rotate up and down. And then this is your communication antenna package. But it also acts as a piece to hold the two squares together. So the pieces snap together with this, one on top of the other, but then you can snap it again with this to give it more support. Just like the front support is all the way through these two squares, and this is through that, so it holds the cubes together. I made this smaller than the original Maul because I made it so that you can stick it to be able to be carried by another ship. And that other ship is the Gladius. So here's the Gladius. Now, I thought this was just a really neat, big, powerful looking ship. And I modified it. And actually, here's some of the this is one of the larger stands. So for the bigger ships, you can put 2 stands on it. And even if you want, you can use 3 if you have extra, if you have a ship that you don't use a stand for. So my Gladius design and my Claymore, I didn't use the stands. So what I did to the Gladius is I added the arms from Maul onto the front. So I thought that'd be cool. So it could like fly in low, and grab things or shoot or whatever it wants to do. Has a full complement, lots of missiles. And these fire off. And what they have is they don't have a spring in them. There's no catch. They just have a little bit of pressure. And then this has a spring, this lever here, and you pull it back and snap it forward and it kicks one out. And then you rotate it, and then you go to the next one and the next one and the next one. And it kind of has a place to stop. You can feel it stop as you rotate it. So that's a real simple design and effective. More now these missiles also went to the Maul, walker. And so I wanted to make the Gladius the most powerful thing. I added an extra set of missiles because it only came with 1 set, but I took missiles off of another setup and added those. And the way these work is they're pressure. You push this lever down, and this missile will fly out because it's got like a ball joint in there. Let me show you that. Let's see. So if I push this, and then it'll fly out. So you see that. So this sphere supports itself inside there. So the other thing about the Gladius, again, you have a place where you have soldiers that can fit inside here. And, it lifts up here. That's how it goes. All right, so you can get 2 people inside this one here. And there's all kinds of rotating guns that you can use and put on this. I wanted this to be able to be a gunship and fire from every angle. So as it's going by, it can turn guns and fire. Well, not really that one, right? But maybe fire downward. It can use the arm and fire, and then it has a gun on the back. So I wanted it to be able, no one could sneak up on this. Now the unique pieces. Well, it has several unique pieces, but this is really unique. Like this is very unique to this. It doesn't come with anything else either. It has this big solid piece here that again has a button, and it uses pressure. And when I said again, that's what I was going for. Again, you use pressure, so things lock up. So you have this piece here, and it attaches up in there, and then let's see if I can get this to. It was staying up there. Yeah, and then you just press this, and you drop your drone. And there, now you have a drone that has wheels. So again, more unique pieces here. And then you can put a fella in there. It's got guns in the front. And that's why I made smaller, so that you can fold it up and it's the same, width as here. And you can, if you'd like, you can use the Gladius to haul this around instead of the wheel. So, made my own drop, ground force, fighting force. And instead of using the stands, that these pieces here go into the stands, if you want, I just used them as landing gear for the ship. So this ship also has, it has like jets for the bottom, and then these can be like rockets as well, like stabilizing or turning. So you can pretend that it, can lift off the ground, and then, these will help push it one way or the other. And then you have your propulsion in the back, different jets. So really, what I'm trying to exemplify here is that they give you all of these options for creating a realistic scenario for a kind of spaceship. I don't know what these are for. I guess you could use them to carry injured people, like a gurney. I don't know. I don't know really what they're for, but they look kind of cool. So that is my version of the Gladius with added more guns, and I added this to it as well. This piece here, actually, this goes to the last ship. Was that the Trident? So this piece here was an extra piece that came with the Trident, and you would mount it underneath the Trident. But I just figured, well, I don't know what to do with it, so I stuck it. I took one of these out and clipped it onto the Gladius. All right, so that's our Gladius. All right, well, get these out of the way. Now, I'm going to go to this one here. Let's get these out of the way. All right, the Scorpion. So the Scorpion what I did with the Scorpion is change it quite significantly. Now, the first design is the Scorpion Claw Troop Dropper, and that looks like, well, they give you information, actually, black hole weaponry, and then they show you the pilots and the fighter that they come with. They come with little tiny figures. And so this is the one that I first built, the Scorpion Claw Troop Dropper, but I changed it. I changed it to just be more of what I wanted. I didn't follow any of the other directions. I made it thicker and beefier. So this is your black hole weapon here, and this has a little loose spring, and that drops out, and that just stays in there. And then inside these are troops. So these you can just easily open them, almost a little bit too easily. They come off. And then look, you have You have your little warrior troops inside. Okay, so there's 6 of these. So you can just have like a troop dropper, you know, and just fly by and drop all your troops. A couple down here, a couple can fly out there. And then in the front, you have this opens up and you have your pilot, just like they were showing you. So he's a different, can you see him in there? Let me get him out. He's a different design than those other guys. Okay. And the figures all have a little bit of articulation in their waist. They have a ball joint so they can sit and they can twist. Their arms don't move, but pretty novel for, being this small and simple. I mean, if you look at some of the Star Wars figures, they don't have that. They're a little different. So again, you have guns that can turn, and then you have these claws that can rip apart other ships, wings that can lift up, and you have other blades that you can, fly by and maybe tear apart other ships. It's really a gunship, right? I wanted to make like a gunship. And there's guns here, guns there, missiles that launch, tear things apart, shoot everywhere. And I wanted these to rotate again so you could shoot behind you if something's behind you. And there, you even have a tail gunner right in the back there. So that is my version of the Scorpion Claw. All right, so let's go to the next one. All right, now the first one I built was the Spitter, and I made that beefier. And this one I did add some of those rubbery pieces to like upgrade it. And I got enough of them from, I like symmetry, so I got these red ones came with the other sets of, I guess, all the dark ships. So I got enough that I could be symmetrical. But this is this version of the Spitter, and I made it quite different, as you can see here. And so, it has the wings and everything, but I moved the wings forward. And instead of having these spikes forward, I put them downward. You can rotate this on its stand. I gave it a rotating gun in the front. And you have like a gunner in the back. And then I made it so that this can come off and you have a small ship that can, like a drone, and looks like a complete ship in and of itself. And it also has guns that can shoot up and down, and then it can dock itself back to add more diversity and power to our Spitter ship, which just is like a light attack craft. I mean, look at the size of the missiles that it has too, quite large. And you just push those from the back, and the pressure will make them fly out, But and they come with extra. That's the other thing. If you lose them, they do come with extra. And then look, you even have like these super missiles on the sides that you can pretend. All right, so that is our Spitter. And then we're going to go to the Hammerjaw. And that's a really neat one. So I modified the Hammerjaw my way as well. So this is one of the original designs for the Hammerjaw. And I always build one of the original things first, and then I go back and modify it. So it comes with 3 different body designs. And I kept a lot of it the same, but I changed certain things so that it could, again, fire behind it. And I like to make my ships kind of tighter and more concise. So it originally had these pieces that are kind of sticking out, and I felt like that just makes it a little bit more delicate. So I brought things in and made them, tighter. And I wanted to have like these blades up here. So again, if it could go up against the ship and just kind of tear the bottom of it out, I don't know, just some kind of attack idea. I gave it guns that can rotate in all directions. And these are neat because this is the only ship that has these ball joint guns that can go in all directions, actually. And it's a larger ball joint. Oh, actually, it's a similar ball joint to what's on the Maul, actually, mech vehicle. And then it has a really big gun down here, one of the larger guns. So that's really cool. And then you have it opens up, and then there you have your gunner, your pilot inside, and you have shields in the front. And look at these big guns here on the sides, these triple guns. They rotate. And here are your mechs. And the way that they work, or drones. These are wheel drones. So you push this lever and they'll fly off. So it pushes this lever here. You see that? It has a snap. This snaps in. You push this and it pushes it out. And then you can pretend this hits the ground and it's attacking. Maybe it's attacking Maul. Mech warrior suit, and then rotates on the ground, and it's got a blaster, and just blasting away as it bounces over the landscape. So, and you can pop both of them off, and this is what the ship looks like without its drones. So still really cool, and you can. It's got all these details, so you can pretend like these are all like a bunch of lasers or something. You can pretend these are lasers down there. Just a really powerful looking ship, lighter and smaller than the Claymore and the Gladius, but quite well armed, and large missiles up here. And then you see these little pieces here, this little squares piece, that's what you can add those rubber things to. So if you take that off and you see underneath, and then you can add that if you want, like to power it up or something. All right, so that is the Hammerjaw. And lastly, if you didn't see the other show on the Claymore, what I had said about the Claymore is that it was so cool that it didn't give you a lot of ways to modify it, but I found ways to modify it anyway. So here's my Claymore, and I'll show you what I did to it. So if you look at the Claymore, you have your central deck up here, and you have some people in there. And get that to open up. This carries 2 people in here. So you have a couple of... drop somebody. There we go. That fella. And then she's sitting there with him too. Okay. And that closes up. All right. Well, so it's more simplistic. So you have, just that observation deck, right? Pilot deck. Well, I took these big guns from the front and I put them back here, and I made them so that you can swing it around and fire behind you. See that? So again, I like to be able to attack from all angles. This can lift up and fire as well. And then these also rotate. So this can lift up here. I also put guns on the sides that rotate. Now these guns were I believe they were actually, I'm not sure they were even on the Claymore. They might have been on something different. But in any case, I changed how the side was here. And so I wanted to have guns that could shoot behind it or to the side. And I wanted something that could, fire like a battleship. So it could do broadside attacks. So you could turn your laser cannon here, which has, big lasers and small lasers, and you have missiles. So it can attack from the side quite effectively there. And really every angle. So behind you, you can, these can rotate all the way around and fire behind you. And these gigantic guns can fire behind you. And the Claymore also has a giant jet engine in the back, the biggest of any of the ships that I've seen so far. And then these also can rotate, so you can pretend these help it to lift off and go at different angles to take off. And then, this one, the Claymore, comes with landing gear. And it also comes with a couple of mech suits. So you have your war mech suit, your fighting mech suit back here. So these lift up, and you push this. There's a lever here. You push that, and it's stuck for some reason. But that makes that drop, okay? I think I had it pressed in a little bit wrong. And then you have your fighting mech suit, smaller than Maul, I put a jet on the back from another set. Actually, from the Gladius, I had an extra jet, and I put it on this so this can fly. And this has a rotating gun here, and then you put a figure inside, and then you have your rotating guns there. And then the front, so I put a lot of weaponry in the front. You know, like I put these, like these are some kind of, I don't know, wave motion gun, like the Argo. And then you have all these, you know, lasers there, and then you have rockets. But this, because you really have to protect this one here. So this opens up, and then you have these lift up, and then you have a lever here, and you push that lever, and then your mech suit comes off, and then you have like a fix-it mech. But this mech also can fight if you want. So you can put a gun on it, and you can put like a knife with another gun, and then you have that big guy, one of those big guys that you can put in it, and he's like got a suit. So that can be your smaller mech, and then it has like a mech laboratory over here, so you can stick your mech here, and you know, maybe it's getting repaired, or you're just changing the pieces on it. So you have different grapples, you know, so this can, you know, squeeze things, this can grapple something, but also has like 2 rockets. And then you have this here. So it gives you a choice of 6 different arms. So you have like a cutting wheel, maybe you have to repair something on the Claymore, and then you have rocket launchers. So all of this, all you do is you just snap this off. And the other good thing is this is a good plastic. There is a Transformer line of toys that I've shown a little bit, but I'll show more eventually because I have a lot of them that use these kind of clip-on, I can't remember the name of the toy line, but it's a whole bunch of Transformers and they all clip together, and the plastic is kind of brittle. You really have to be careful because sometimes these break. These are not brittle. It is a really good plastic that I think is going to last for a long time. So it's almost heavy. It feels almost like a 3D printer plastic, but not quite, a little bit more flexible than that. So anyway, so this is the Claymore. Again, if you didn't see it, but this is my modified Claymore. So anyway, I cannot recommend these snap ships enough. If you like to build really cool ships pretty quickly and have just all kinds of options and variability, and they really cost like, you know, $10, $13, maybe $20, but some of these ships were like $50 at one point. All of them were definitely, you know, in the mid-20s, 30s, the larger ones. So anyway, what a bargain you're getting right now. And I wanted to show you all that I have now because I just might build one big gigantic ship, and I wanted to show you these first before I do that. And if I do it, of course, I'm going to show you. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to talking to you again. Take care.